Hello everybody, welcome
Hi.
back to Pixel Junkies. Can you believe it? We're playing F1 2014 again. And we are...
Again.
Well, it's been a very, very long time since we played this, Dave. And we are going to Belgium in this episode.
Good track.
For this race.
Spa.
Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps.
You said it right.
Fantastic circuit. It's gone through a number of changes. It was one of the original circuits in the Formula 1 calendar. But it's, of course, vastly different than it used to be. Much smaller. So this is the circuit, the 19 turns. A couple without names. We got the Source hairpin at the first corner up through Eau Rouge, which is probably one of the most interesting complex of corners in Formula 1. I'm kind of still amazed that it exists in the modern regulations. This is the starting grid
corner.
As they lined up in qualifying, and the sizable gap there in between me and Dave.
A little bit.
But at least he's on. At least he's still on the front row of the grid, which you haven't done every race so far. There.
Yeah.
But there you go. And grid further down.
Bit is the race bit.
What's that?
The important bit is the race bit.
That it is. That it is. And of course, if you've been following F1, the actual racing, whatever in real life, you'll know that the start is not really the whole story because, well, not so much in 2014, but with the newer Mercedes, they had pretty shitty clutches, so the start of the race is kind of up in the air. These are the points, driver points going in to the race here.
Oh man, 1
Screen
point.
just spazzed out for a second. And yeah,
oh man,
fairly unchanged towards the back for the last couple of events. But
Maldonado's still in here, yeah.
He is indeed. And then, of course, look at that sizable gap between Mercedes and Infinity. I think it's we still have 8 or 9. I think it's 19 races so far, or 19 races in this season. So there's still a chance.
8 races.
Assuming Mercedes eats shit for the next couple races, they have a chance to pull it back. And then we can see the race strategies going on there now. We got the soft and the medium tire.
Like I was gonna say when I spoke too soon, I like how you added the song in the beginning.
That's been there for the last couple of videos though.
Oh.
They're very observant.
Yeah, very observant.
26% chance of rain this session, which is actually, this is actually a pretty good session for us.
The chance of rain is 0.
Well, it says now, but when I was in the settings just then, it said 26%.
Oh, okay.
But Spa, if you're unfamiliar, it's pretty much rains every 5 seconds. Like if there's a saying, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. It's very true to Spa because it rains and it gets clear and both. Like I remember there's a qualifying session. I think it was last year. It rained at the beginning of the session, then dried up to the point where you didn't even know it was raining. Like 5 minutes later.
Damn.
It was ridiculous. Yeah. So we're about to start the race here.
Here we go.
Get ready to go. All right.
Let's see how the start goes.
Been a very long time since we played this, but we are back and we are going to tackle probably one of my favorite racing circuits.
It's probably my second favorite. Well, like I say, Monza in Montreal, and probably this.
Oh, here we go.
And here we
5
go.
lights, and there we go. They've turned invisible. And a fairly decent start off the line. I got Vettel right up his anus. And then Ricardo coming out of the outside. He's going to the outside of the corner here, trying to get some sort of run. But a little bit too wide on the Source hairpin.
A little bit, but
going down through,
so it's good.
Going through Radion here at the bottom of the hill.
They
got a super fast right-hander up over Eau Rouge. And a little slow off the apex there, so giving Vettel a window to close in. Very on line. I got a reverse shot here. The battle going on.
Vettel not quite making it in terms of top speed there.
Yeah, you outbraked him a little bit there. And down now to turn 10, which is Brussels apparently, which is a very easy corner because it's sort of the runoff camber is very easy to understeer on that corner. Now through the corner that has no name. And
no name corner.
Yeah. Through Pouan.
I don't like this corner right here, though, in my opinion.
You don't? Oh,
that's
stuck
that
on the
reason
curb.
why.
Yeah, we've mentioned this in previous videos. A little wide on that apex there, giving Dave a little bit of a chance to close up there. And then through this interesting
race, man.
complex of corners through the back of the circuit in there. Of course, on the inside of the circuit here, just on the right, is actually the karting track, which I don't know if it's modeled in this game.
It might be very
is,
shitty, but it might be.
You can race on that circuit in Project Cars, which is pretty cool. That'll
little circuits in that game.
Again, coming up, looking for a window. Can't find it through the Blanchiment. Sort of not really straight, but flat out corner. And then through the chicane. There we go. Onto the straight. First lap complete. And 0.6 gap. First and second. That's a pretty close window. Some interesting stats for you. In the previous video, while Dave checks out my anus, in the previous video we mentioned F1 2015's release date because it had just come out in that video. And since then, 2016 has come out. So it's been that long. It's been an entire game cycle.
Alright, but you can stop saying how long it's been. We all get it.
It's been a long time. Do you know this? Here's another fact, just for you, Dave.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Team Radio. Tire's getting cold.
What we were joking about whenever Team Radio comes on, and talking about turbo beer. He's like, what kind of beer do you want? Yeah, you want that beer? Yeah. Okay.
No, it's not a joke anybody's gonna get, but
inside joke. Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
Fateful abuse of Team Radio to discuss. Oh yeah, I was in VR and Dave was talking about beer, and it very much felt like I was being talked to, having a beer conversation while I was racing a car in VR.
Project Cars, yeah.
Yeah. But when we recorded our last video, Dave, you had not yet played Elite Dangerous.
Are you serious?
Yeah. That's how long ago.
Fuck, shut up, Siri. I didn't say fucking Siri. Alright, what now?
That's how long ago that was.
Holy shit.
Yep, it's been a long time.
Now
let's put it in perspective. Because Dave plays Elite all the time, and he probably doesn't know what life was like without it.
No, Elite's a very good game, but we're not here to talk about Elite.
No. What's the gap here now? The gap just disappeared out of my screen.
Speaking of Elite, though, is there
good way to change subject. We're not here to talk about that game, but speaking of that game.
Anyway, we'll talk about that in a different video. Anyway.
In a different video. Team Radio again. DRS enabled.
Oh man. Do I get to use it?
I don't know where the DRS zone is here. Fastest lap 156.2. So 3/10 currently.
Yeah, it's after this turn.
Right there. That's the DRS to section zone. And I believe you were in 9/10 of a second, so you should have DRS.
And DRS is right. Oh.
And boop, there you go.
Boop.
So that opens up a little slit in his rear wing, removes a bit of downforce, which you can only use on the straight, otherwise the car would just spin off into the wall.
And you probably die.
Yeah.
So
that's reduced the gap down to 0.7 of a second.
Quite
pretty close so far. Pretty close. I mean, over the course of, this is the longest circuit on the F1 calendar, so to be separated after 1 minute and 56 seconds by half a second is pretty substantial.
I gotta say, if anyone out here plays F1 games, if you're playing it on console, I would highly recommend getting it on PC.
Oh yeah,
it's much better.
If your PC is capable, absolutely. I don't see why you wouldn't.
And consoles are capped at 30 frames a second.
They are, although I'm not too sure about the new versions. If they run at 60, I mean the game isn't that graphically impressive.
Well, no,
but
still,
they're probably capped at 30. Oh, wide run there.
Almost kissing the wall.
Wide exit, and that gave Dave an opportunity to close even further.
Look at the gap now.
No longer a 0.7 of a second. Right up my anus through Blanchiment into the chicane
now.
Checking out
his anus here.
Looking for a braking zone. I cover the inside.
On the outside.
Dave going wide.
I go for the inside.
So now that gives Dave the apex of that corner. Looks like he had a little wheel spin there.
I did get DRS though off of that.
Down to 2/10 now. Look at that.
And do I get the inside? I cut in on the inside.
It's for a narrow cut, but I had a straight run off the corner there, so that.
Did. I think I let off
too narrow a corner. Usually, I find my experiences is better when you're following to take a wider line, because then that straightens you up
You get better exit speed.
Yeah, well, we're getting a replay here now. So this is from my perspective of that off. There we go. Just a little too wide on that corner there. Just straighten off.
A little touch.
Just a little tap of the wall there. No wing damage though. So lucked out.
Not like the time in China when we were catching the bid there and I blow a tire.
Yep.
Fucked.
Don't know what that was about. Though in 2016, I guess we could probably talk about 2016 a little bit too, because we talked about 2015 in the last episode, and in this episode, I would say 2016 is like galaxies better than 2015. I would say it's my favorite racing game.
In my opinion,
this year.
2015 really isn't considered a game in my opinion.
Well, yeah,
simply because there is no the feature we all like is the online bid.
Well, yeah, it was not good. 2016 is a fantastic game. It's probably the best F1 game currently available, currently made, and like I said, it's probably my favorite car game so far this year. Even better than Forza, which is a fun game. It's probably not. It's probably
Forza
not.
Horizon doesn't really count as a. Forza
it's probably not a. Well, it's a racing game, but I wouldn't say
it's a racing game. But it's arcade is what it is.
Yeah, but it is, I'm not talking about simulation. I'm just talking about car games. Like, I'd say Forza is probably a better game because it has more content for a broader audience, broader range of people.
What about My Summer Car?
Nah. It's got. I mean, if you've seen,
it's a good game in theory.
It's a cool little, cute little indie game, you know. But it's got major problems.
It needs to be fixed. Yeah, it needs to be fixed, so to speak. But it is a cool game. But no, yeah, I haven't played 2016 yet. So I really can't say that
for an F1 fan, 2016 is as good as you can get. It has everything, a little bit of everything that you could want in an F1 game.
I mean, I've watched you play it, so I'm not going to deny that it isn't a good game, or however you want to say that. I don't know. But you get what I'm saying.
I prefer it to Forza. I know Forza is probably a more accessible game to bigger
Horizon or 6.
Just Horizon 3. Just talks about game this year.
Okay.
Or games this year.
Fair enough.
Gap now, look at the Dave falling back a little bit. Got 2.5 seconds to gap.
I don't know what happened there.
Slowing a little bit down, maybe some wide on some apexes. And I remember on when we were doing this a couple of weeks ago, I remember trying. I don't know why I always do this, but I always try to nurse my tires in a way, and it was probably at the fault of 2016, really, because in 2016 you can actually look after your tires in 2016. In this game, as I keep reaffirming it to myself,
balls to the walls.
Yeah, in this game you just can't do it. It's your tires degrade no matter how you drive.
You can drive like a complete lunatic and wear the same as if you drive like a grandpa.
Yeah, more or less. It's you can look after them, but it's not beneficial to you to race or to look after your tires because you're just too slow.
It almost seems like it goes off of like the distance you travel.
Here comes Vettel.
I know what man, if you want to take a peek inside that hole there. Look at that.
Closing the door on him. Now,
he ain't getting by me.
Staying behind there for now. They've seen a little mini map. And a little bit of wheel spin off the chicane there. Back across the straight. So, pit crew apparently. I guess I'm pitting this lap.
Pretty short. I managed to get a second off that. Oh, sweet. The gap on your screen is different than one from mine. Nice.
Oh, yeah. It's off by a little bit. Off by a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But usually when you do fastest laps, they usually display them the same, which I don't know what the difference is. I'm cutting the grass there. And a little bit of a bog down, just here there on the apex, going up through Eau Rouge. Which is funny. It's called Eau Rouge. It literally means red water, and it's because there's like rust, I believe, iron. There's iron in the hills. The rust water runs down into the ditch at the bottom, and there's just little rusty water pools down at the bottom of Radion.
Sweet.
That's why it's called that. Damn.
Radion. AMD.
Radion. Well, it's not Radion. It's spelled Raid, ILLON. Radion.
AMD.
Ray Dillon. Yeah. AMD. Dillion.
Screw that. I don't like
it. Through Puan again.
NVIDIA for the win.
What?
NVIDIA for the win.
NVIDIA, says Dave. NVIDIA for the win. NVIDIA. Instead of like NA-VIDIA, I say EN-VIDIA. Like English. NVIDIA. I don't know. That's how I say it. And say it like me, because I'm always correct.
Yeah, right. It's always correct.
Look at that gap behind Vettel there on you. Less than half a second.
Completely ignored that subject. Alright, moving on.
Yeah, well, I mean, you gotta focus on the race here. Vettel
again.
Yeah,
race. What race? What race
you seem to be kind of slow through Blanchimont there because Vettel seems to find...
it took me a couple laps to figure that one out.
Oh, and dodging into the pits.
I hate the pit entrance in this track.
It's a little odd. A weird elevation change.
Remember, I took a gamble here.
Yeah, I think you were supposed to pit. No, I think you were pitting after me, and then I think on the next. Yeah, you pit next lap.
I'm supposed to pit next lap, but I took a gamble and said fuck that and went another lap before I pit.
Yeah, and then I think on your pit strategy you were supposed to come in before me or after me. I can't really remember.
After me.
Coming out now, shooting out of the thingy.
For people watching this, go back and watch the beginning, and then you can comment in the comments.
You probably have better memory than we do. Yeah, we have better memory than we do. We don't pay attention to these things.
Yeah, we don't pay attention.
Alright, we're just making this video here. It's no big deal.
It's been like 5 years since we recorded this. Now we're doing audio. Yeah. So
Dave out in front, leading this Grand Prix so far. Raikkonen up his Sphinx.
Yeah.
Ricardo close behind him, though it's probably...
Raikkonen ain't up at my Sphinx. He's like fucking 3 seconds behind.
No, Raikkonen was up. No, Ricardo was up Raikkonen's Sphinx. Is what I said.
Oh.
Close behind him.
My bad, then.
Yeah, fucking open your ear holes. Clean out the.
Nah, I can't do that.
Mounds of red earwax. Rolls.
No, not red. Brown. Come on now.
That's bog.
Yes.
All right, lap 7 stint. So what have you been up to in that year and some odd months?
Elite.
Elite, yeah.
Elite, Freza.
Freza, of course. Yeah. Dave means Forza when he says Freza, because you know.
The joke between me and the bit.
Phonetics and all that.
Yeah.
Hooked on phonics.
Hooked on phonics. Who need them? Recently, Mafia, as y'all know, Mafia came out.
Man, Mafia 2, that's a good game, right? Don't you like how Mafia?
Oh, I did go in
tapping the wall there.
All right.
You don't even know your own strategy. Trying to spoil the race.
No.
Trying to spoil the race and don't even know your own strategy. You don't need to say what happens. You don't need to say what happens.
Did that with the medium.
Yeah, you don't need to say what happens later in the race.
All right. Well, I already know. So.
Shatter the illusion.
Jesus.
Take that hammer and shatter it. 10 seconds now to gap.
Now, what you been up to then, huh?
Elite. And here comes Dave. And that's me whizzing around the corner. So that's the gap now. Then chopped down from 10 seconds.
Back to the top 3 at the beginning of the race.
We are back to
Big boy Vettel.
Yep. Through a rouge again now on his boys a medium
Infinity
tire.
Rouge.
Yeah, you really gotta change that automatic gear thing that you run.
Yeah, I do.
In editing this, you are like I wasn't even in 8th gear on that straight, and you were in 8th gear before you went up the hill.
Yeah, later on, like if you notice, later on I keep downshifting on that and go back to 7th because the automatic gearbox is feces. I don't know why I haven't changed it yet. I need to. Manual's so much better.
So yeah, Dave spends a lot of time in gears that he's nowhere near the rev range for some reason. And I think, honestly, you lose a lot of time because of it in certain parts of the race here. Well, I'm saying you personally, that you know, there's noticeable gaps in time just from, like, even right here, you're in 7th, you can hear the engine going.
If you're upshifting into a gear and the car's not ready for it yet, the car is struggling to get up to speed because it's slowing me down.
So slow entry there, too.
That's why you always see me sometimes when upshifts, you immediately go back down in gears because I'm shifting it back down. But
gap is 2.7. So a little bit of an increase in the gap since the previous stint. Mm-hmm. I believe this was a 2-stop race. I guess it would have to be.
It's a 2-stop.
Not going to go to the end on these tires.
No way. Nope.
But this track has seen a lot of changes over the years, and it's kind of interesting. I remember when
seeing it this way.
Was that?
I'm used to always seeing it this layout.
Yeah, it's more or less been this layout, but just a couple of the way the corners have gone. For like, they used to start the race on this straight right here. That didn't used to be behind the.
No, that explains the grid there.
Yeah, and you know, still even in like project cars and stuff, you still start the race on this straight for some reason.
And Forza? No, you don't.
No, in Forza you start before the hairpin.
Yeah, you start before.
But then right around Blanchimont, like turn 18, near the chicane, that used to go straight, and then there was a chicane, and then you went on to the hairpin. It used to, like, where you go now, it kind of goes off to the left. I'll mention it when we go by there again on the next lap. But where the chicane goes to the right, and then you go around to the Les Horts hairpin, it actually just used to go straight on. And I guess that was a speed thing. I don't know if...
Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know if something to do with the FIA that it was like unsafe just hauling anus around Blanchimont, because you're pretty much already doing like 200
Yeah, tail
something.
still out or how do you say that?
Oh, Rouge. Well, I mean, there's nothing really you can do about that, because you
No,
do
but you're still hauling anus through fucking curves.
out onto those.
So, I mean, those corners are full throttle.
Curves. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're full throttle, but it's, I don't know, I guess it's just difficult to have a very, you know, dangerous accident on there with like I guess it was this year's Spa Grand Prix, one of the Renaults went off into the wall at the top of Eau Rouge, and that pretty much demolished the car. His safety harness, I think, that was attached to the bracket that goes around your head where your Hans device that keeps your neck from jerking around, actually flew out of his car, which is kind of dangerous. So here we are coming up through Blanchimont, through the chicane. So this is where the track used to just go straight right there. It used to just go straight. And then it would come around, just up around beyond this bit, and it would, then it would
like
come back on.
Small bend.
Yeah, it just kind of just went into the woods there, almost next to that hill. And I guess they've since put that hill there to put a grandstand. I don't really know, but I remember the old Codemasters games. It used to be a completely different layout. That's kind of interesting. But
the gap has come down there.
A little bit.
You noticed?
She was a little way at that gap.
Not according to the leaderboard there, but no, about 2 seconds. Never mind.
You know, there's been a lot of dangerous accidents actually on that corner in recent years. The one of the Ford GTs, the prototypes, one of the new ones,
late,
one of the GT cars smashed into that corner as well.
Well, those really aren't designed to go turbo full throttle on that.
No,
but anyway.
yeah, but there's been I think like a lot of old Porsches and stuff. I think there's been some people killed on that corner. So I guess it's kind of...
It's dangerous, but only if you're not in really the vehicle to take that turn like an F1 car does.
Yeah, well, I guess, you know, it's easy if you just go, you know, you go to the bottom of the hill, the outside, and then you swerve to go up the hill. But then, of course, if you get oversteer going up the hill and you correct, you then
or
just
traffic.
Or traffic. Then you're just veering straight into that wall that's there. And there's only like one layer of tires before you hit it. So, I mean, if you're doing 200 and something miles an hour, that's still a hard hit.
Yeah.
There we go. So here we a bit of dirt flying up. A little bit closer to my gearbox here. Almost a second, but almost went DRS range.
I'm catching on a bit.
Halfway through
Take a look at his finger.
Almost halfway through the Grand Prix.
Yeah.
This is a shorter one, actually. We've done some of these have been like an hour long. This one's only 49 minutes. It's a little bit of a shorter one.
Well, probably because we were hauling crab the entire race, because we actually like this track.
I don't know. It's weird that the longest Grand Prix. I mean, they all kind of average out to different laps. We're doing these on 50% distance, so that.
Just over a second.
Just over.
DRS.
But, well, you're not in the DRS detection zone yet.
That's true. That's true.
Not in the detection zone yet. We will see the detection zone coming up right underneath this bridge right there.
Do I get it?
So now we'll have to wait and see. Top of Eau Rouge. Swerve.
I get it.
Left and then, or right and then left, and then DRS line right there. No DRS. Nada. Boy denied.
Well, maybe next lap.
Maybe we'll see. 1.2 seconds now. Last 2 tenths on that. Though it looked like I ran a little, I broke a little too deep on that.
A little spin there.
Lost a little bit of time.
Yeah, a little wheel spin.
Through Lacombe, down now through Brussels. Missing the apex.
Oh, we're in Brussels now. I thought we were in Spain. I get it.
What?
Brussels.
Yeah, Brussels is in Belgium.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Spain,
get it.
though. I don't know.
Sweet.
Being an idiot.
Right up my anus, though. Closing that gap down. Look at that. Super close. Right on my gearbox. Don't need to see the time.
Dave got to take a look. Oh, Trying to take a good look here at the base gearbox.
Yeah, you gotta smell my oil. Running out onto that fake AstroTurf stuff. A little more dirt. We're going
Seems
now.
taking a liking to dirt in this race.
Through Stavelo.
Maybe we should go play some dirt, babe.
Oh yeah. No thanks.
No
4/10, almost a half a second. But it looks like
you're whole half second in this one lap.
Closing a little bit. Yeah, well, once you get a scent to some sort of gasoline or some sort of fuel or something, just
how am I gonna do this? Hold on, how am I gonna do this?
Full savage.
Inside.
Give me a bop. Dave giving me a boop there on
tap.
the apex.
And I gave the position back. I got DRS and I didn't realize. Oh, there we go. I stepped on the brake for some reason there.
There you go.
Go on the outside. Cut in. Do I get it? Do I get it? Oh.
So tight down through Radion here now.
I think I braked.
Not in a corner that you want to be overtaken on, but
oh.
Very close. Oh.
And I think I get. Oh.
Dave closing the door a little bit there. Oh, you came a little bit too wide, man. Oh, Dave running way off to the side there, trying to get the outside.
I got DRS. That's why.
Oh yeah, because you forgot that you had the DRS open, and I believe I screamed at you then to fucking close your goddamn DRS. Turn out your DRS, idiot. Because I can only imagine you fucking whole back end of the car going out and then just veering off into a wall.
Bits of F1 car.
And then Dave be like, "Oh man, I fucked up." I'm like, "Oh, you
fucked up.
You're an idiot." You got your lead there though. Not too shab.
Nope. That was a good.
A little wide through pool on.
Close pass there.
Oh.
That berm, man. Fuck that berm. That's what I was talking about earlier. Happened same thing at the beginning of the race.
Yeah,
And
first lap.
Catches you.
I was just thinking, like, how many times am I gonna hit that fucking curb on this race, and then the first fucking time around turn 12, nailed it.
Fuck. Yeah, that berm, once it gets you, it ain't letting you go. It wants to be best friends with you the rest of his life.
I don't know what it is about it. It just doesn't allow you to go back onto the circuit, and
it's so high. That's why.
Well, yeah, it's, you know, with these cars, you don't want to be jerking the steering wheel around because they'll end up just spinning out. So when the car is being pulled in a direction, you don't want to just go full opposite way because you're expecting the car to go that way, and when it doesn't, it the little throws you off. Oh yeah. But DRS off the straight, Dave going to the outside.
Feels like I'm pulling away though there.
Yeah, got a good run off of the chicane.
There we go.
A little wide around the source though, and a little bit oversteer, so the DRS not used particularly well. You can see an update of our lap times. Dave on top.
0.8 seconds.
Pretty generally a faster laps there. They're you know they're closing down a little by little there, but consistently over 8/10. So impressive pace from Dave, who has not yet seen victory this series, and obviously
no, I haven't. Not recorded. Nope.
Not in the actual series. In the championship, yes.
Still can't believe we didn't record that race, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, we hadn't come up with the idea of capturing these brilliant moments.
I'm sorry for all you people who have been following that. I'm sure I've said this about a million times, but that race, and what was it, Bahrain?
Yeah, it was Bahrain, yep.
It was the most epic race we've ever had. It was just a constant back and forth battle.
We've had more epic races than that, I think.
Probably.
Canada was absolutely up there, but you never go to remember that one. I think it's just because you won it. I mean, it was great. It was up there. It was great. It was just
the fact that I won. I don't even give a crap about the fact that I won. The fact that the entire race was just back and forth, back and forth.
Well, it would have been. I mean, I think I've said this before as well, but it may have been different had Esteban Gutierrez not cut me off on the second last corner there, and basically made me spin. So then I believe I think that was not the last lap, but the last couple laps, and then I caught you and passed you, and then you passed me right in the last corner.
Yeah.
So it could have been different. Maybe I would have had like a 1,000,000-second lead. Who knows? But I mean, you don't. It doesn't really matter what happens until that checkered flag comes out. Just like at the Mexico Grand Prix, it doesn't even matter, even after the checkered flag has fallen. Just like if you've been following any F1 news, Max Verstappen. I'll try to give you the abridged version here because it's a long fucking story. Max Verstappen finished in third, got a penalty, after the race, while he was going up to the podium, that made him 5 seconds, plus 5 seconds to his time. So he ended up finishing 4th. So then Sebastian Vettel had to go up to the podium. Dave closing his gap with DRS. Oh, I mean, I'm closing my gap with DRS. I forgot you passed me. Purple sector there. Not bad.
His pace is good.
Purple sector there. So then Sebastian Vettel went up to the podium and accepted the trophy. Then after the podium ceremony, Sebastian Vettel got a 10-second penalty and promoted Daniel Ricciardo, who was behind him, to 3rd. So they went from he went from 3rd, or Verstappen went from 3rd to 4th, or from 3rd to 5th. Then Vettel went from 4th to 3rd, then to 5th, and Ricciardo went from 5th to 3rd.
Vettel's race fucked is what happened.
Yeah, so it's pretty ridiculous. All the nonsense going on.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, so where are we at to now? It's still a pretty tight race. I mean, this has been it's been a very long time, as I've said multiple times, since we played this, but getting back into the groove of playing this.
Let's just put it this way. Going into this, we were just going to do this for fun. We weren't expecting to have a turbo race. At the end of it, we're, fucking...
You know, getting Dave to play this game is like trying to convince a very hesitant girlfriend to have sex with you, is what it's like.
Wait, what?
It's like trying to convince a very hesitant girlfriend to have sex with you. And every now and then, he puts out, every now and then you'll get a race out of it. And this time, he was, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do this. Let's just have a little bit of fun. So we did that.
What the fuck?
We did that.
Very
and,
hesitant
we had a fun time, I think.
Nice. I like that. That's funny.
1.2 tenths on that one. So
no.
Lost a second in those last those final 2 sectors, and it's looking like now.
I think I was somewhat drunk too at doing this.
You might have been. I don't know. We were. Yeah, I think it was pretty late when we did this. It was like 3 or 4 in the morning.
We didn't finish this till like 4 or 5.
Yeah, and
we already had a.
We were probably half in the bag by then. Yeah.
Half in the bag. Maybe in the bag all the way.
And well, we're getting into the bag now. I got some bevs going. Dave got some bevs going.
I'm in for the festive season.
Who knows what this night is brewing?
Pumpkin ale, man.
Pumpkin ale.
Mm-hmm.
What kind? Was it the Blue Moon still?
Yep, Blue Moon.
Yeah.
That Belgian stuff.
I'm drinking regular Blue Moon, which is in Canada Ricker's White, also known as Belgian Moon. Same beer.
Same thing. Orange
Put
peel
it in
and
different bottles.
beer.
Dave, Dave, a little bit janky there on the exit of Huon.
Man, that fucked me up. Did you do a replay of that? Please tell me you didn't
I believe there's a replay. I think we'll see a replay.
Oh man, that looks hilarious from your camera.
Here we go. Here we go. Replay of Dave's camera.
See car off and the thing shimmying about.
So,
here we go.
Out onto the apex, you can see the car bouncing around. He's trying to go left, and it just bounces him off. So he says, fuck it, and then runs around wide, the outside. You can see me zip past. Back on board now.
Sorry, it was funny watching me from your camera. Watching the car just hop about.
Dart left and right. So I'm not sure what the pit strategy is here, but it's going to be soon that we pit. It's going to have to be because those rears are not looking healthy, and it is now actually. So I'm coming in.
Yeah. My tires look like
boop at the wall.
about the same. I think mine actually a little bit better than yours, a little bit lighter.
So this is well, you've already always somehow been a little bit better on the tires than me.
Somehow.
Even though I'm trying to look after them, which makes no sense, but there you go. And Dave now needing to push very hard to minimize that mistake on the exit of 12 on the previous lap. Because that gap now, I don't know what that gap is going to be, but was it 7 tenths before the pit? So
I think so.
You don't need to haul some anus. Purple sectors.
So you can see how I downshifted back to 7th. Yeah.
So I'm now on the soft tire, so this is going to give me an advantage on the outlap. Well, some circuits use it.
I guess.
They do. Some circuits use it. Catalunya is one.
Let's rephrase that then. Let's rephrase that. What's the point of an 8-speed or 9-speed in a road car? Like, really?
Fuel efficiency.
It's the same as fuel efficient as a 6-speed.
Not really.
Yeah, it is. I get the same gas mileage in mine as a fucking 9-speed Cherokee. I don't see the difference.
Well, if you can run it in like almost idle RPMs in 9th gear on a highway, why wouldn't you? Because like,
I agree, but at the same time,
Certain
it's still
cars,
the
it
same
makes
mileage.
sense. I mean, if you're comparing like a fucking McLaren to an Acura or something, yeah. But it's like,
Well,
I know that in
no, I'm
Dad's
talking
Mini,
about, like, just cars.
in
just
Dad's
normal
Mini
cars.
in 6th gear, when you're driving at highway speeds, it's like 3,500 RPM.
No,
It's like it
no,
is. It
not on
is.
mine. No,
I'm talking
no.
about my Mini.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, well, I don't give a fuck about your 20-year-old Acura.
It's a 20.
The point is that it's high RPM in 6th gear. So if you have another gear to go to, you can run it at lower RPM. So why would you not want more gears?
But it's also gear
Dad's
strategy
coming
in
in.
your car. Oh, is yours the Mini's a manual? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But I've always noticed that it sounds like it's running at way too high an RPM for like 100 miles an hour.
I just noticed when I'm at highway speed on mine, it's like I'm doing about 80. I'm at like 2,300, something like that.
Yeah, well there you go. That's a car designed to be feces all the time. These are like, you know, if you're gonna have.
It's designed to be feces all the time.
It is. It's Japanese. You know, you gotta shit on it somehow.
Japanese.
I
I
gotta.
feel like the Subaru 22Bs dissing on
Yeah.
fucking
No, that's
Japanese
great.
cars.
That's great.
What's wrong with you?
That's great. Well, you got the American version of the Japanese one, so that's even worse. You got the Walmart Great Valley.
Hey, it's 12 years old, man.
You got the Life brand version of the Honda, whatever it is.
Man. Says the man who has no car. Alright.
Yeah, I don't want to have a car because there's no good ones.
Yeah, but he loves his mom's Mazda and his dad's Mini, so yeah.
I don't mind driving those because I don't have to deal with them when they're broken.
They're still warranty, so why do you care?
Exactly. I don't need to deal with it. Not my problem.
No, it's better than driving around in the Civic like all your friends do. Fuck the Civic.
Nah, that's fine. I'm just
All
I'm
your
just making
friends
fun of your
pronounce it.
car because of you.
It's my car, that's
exactly.
why.
There you go. You got
I could drive around a friggin' SLR McLaren and still be making fun of it.
Nah. Well,
Yeah.
if all the paint was peeling off of it and you had fake wood
shut up.
interior on the inside, and making fun of it too. Anyway, let's.
So I bet you, no, let's put it this way. If I was even driving an LFA, you'd still make fun of it just because
Yeah.
it's my car.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
He doesn't care what kind of car it is, just because I own
It's not.
it. He'd make fun
No,
of it.
the TSX, the Acura TSX, or TL, whatever the hell you got. TL. The Acura TL is not a bad car. Yours is.
Just because I own
Yeah.
it.
I got a glitchy ground. All right,
Wait,
where are we
what?
at now? That was just fucking had the whatever they are, the skid marks on the road where turbo glitching in and out.
Oh, glitching tire stuff.
All right, there we go. Where's the gap now? 1.5 seconds. So obviously we're in that feud that we're having.
Oh man, look at me.
I managed to get out ahead of Dave on that pit stop by some substantial ground, by about 1.5 seconds. I don't know if I've increased that now.
They
It's
got
about
purple
2.2
lap
seconds.
there.
Purple lap. Got to make use of those soft tires. And these will obviously be going to the end of the race now, so another 5 laps on these tires. Which is, I guess, doable on this compound. It's not,
it is.
not too hard of a
That's how we made it at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, no, I
It's
mean,
like
those were used
lap
tires
7.
as well. We only made 6 laps on those.
Oh, you did 6, I did 7.
Yeah. No, because you're better at fucking not wearing them down to the belts.
Rearing my tires down to fucking the metal bits.
2.4 almost the gap now. So Dave falling a little bit behind on this stint.
A little bit. Just a touch.
Off on the pace. I guess everyone's
Out
pitting
of
on the side.
touch.
Out of time.
Oh man.
Something when you're not around. Out onto the corner with no name. Down through Puan, which kind of sounds like the Cleveland Steamer corner.
Pull on your shoulders.
There you go. Seagull poop. And into a campus and Stavelo. Which is, I don't know, these are probably like my least favorite section of this track right here. I don't know what it is.
For me, I don't like them, but they go by so fast,
like
I don't even realize I'm going through
I
them.
don't like them.
Nope.
And then it's
I don't like
basically flat out. Another purple sector here. I'll run a little wide off the corner.
them at all. Yeah, I don't like that.
Purple middle sector. So finding a little bit of extra time on this compound. Probably taking a bit too much out of these tires already. But you know, whatever. I'm fucked anyway.
Chaos.
See where the gap
Only,
is now.
A couple more laps. Just one more lap.
4 and a bit laps. And out onto the checkerboard, whatever. So it's been another purple lap, 55.9. See what it is. Nope.
56.059.
No new personal
Close.
best on that lap.
I got green pace.
You got green pace, so you didn't set no lap, no personal best.
Yeah, whatever. Shove that lap up your anus.
All right. I just goat seat on up there. So 2016, the F1 season has been pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Kind of interesting.
I'm not gonna lie.
Uh,
Pretty hit or miss from Mercedes this year so far.
yeah, they got some reliability issues. But I kind of, I'm not.
Like fucking Hamilton at the end of the race, his car decides to catch on fire.
Yeah, that did happen. His engine did explode.
Yeah, at the end of the fucking race.
At the
His
end of the
entire
race.
race.
Yep.
He's in the lead.
Yep.
Oh, my car's on fire. Alright.
Now the radio was, no, 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 no. And then it just cut to him with his engine exploding.
Still doesn't beat Buddy with the mirror. My mirror will come off.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So, moving on to next year, there's a massive regulation changes coming in next year. Wider tires, more downforce. They're trying to make the cars a lot faster.
Good.
I think they're talking about like between 2 and 5 seconds a lap faster, which is substantial because the cars now are as fast as they've ever been. So that's
people setting a lot of fastest laps around tracks.
Yeah, even a couple circuits this year, they've set the fastest lap ever of a circuit, which is
during the race,
which is substantial. So all these regulation changes coming in next year. One of the key ones, I'm not sure if it's confirmed yet or not, but they've been talking about it a lot, is the Halo system, and I really don't like that because it makes the cars look fucking stupid.
What's the Halo system?
Basically, well, it's I would just prefer it's all about driver safety. They're trying to basically make where the driver is exposed.
The thing around a canopy, isn't it?
Yes, it's a canopy cover. Except what I would prefer them do.
Before you continue, hey babe.
What? Oh, yeah. Boy got personal best. 55.4.
Shove that fucking lap up your anus along with the one you said.
It's already up there.
No, shove this one too.
All right.
You got room for two. Anyway, go ahead.
What I would prefer them do is just like a fighter jet style canopy. Just put that on the car. That's fine. I don't care. I don't need to see the
glass canopy.
I don't need to see the whites of the driver's eyes. It's not like a fucking personal thing. It's just it sucks.
Do you care if the car is open wheel or not open wheel, but open cockpit or not?
I would like it to be open cockpit because any sort of anything that you put over the driver's head, if something hits it doing 300 miles an hour, whatever the hell closing speed it is, it's probably not going to protect you, especially if it's the back of another car or one of those recovery vehicles that takes it, picks your car up and puts it off the track. Hitting that is not going to save you, regardless of what's covering the canopy.
No.
What they want to do.
The only thing that will save you from is like shit flying on the road and the car kicks up.
Yeah, which the new system is not going to do, because the new system is just basically
like a ring.
It's like a boomerang, and they just lay it over the driver's head and just.
It really only prevents massive things from coming at you, like a fucking wheel or something. But other than that,
it's kind of like more like a cage, I guess, more akin to a cage than a cover.
Yeah. But even if like a small bit of carbon fiber falls off Buddy wing in front of you, it's still gonna hit you. It's not gonna stop unless it hits the thing. But it's not
so I don't know what
guaranteed.
this is. I don't know what this is designed to prevent, because there's a certain amount of time. Like the driver needs to be able to get out of the vehicle in 5 seconds. If you can't get out in 5 seconds, it's not safe enough. Because if the car spontaneously combusts, you need to be able to get out of the car right away, which we've seen this year. The car just instantly caught fire. That's going to make it slower, obviously, because now you need to take this Halo system off, and it's not going to.
That's part of the whole piece they already take off.
It's not. It's like bolted onto the front of the car. It's like a separate component.
Yeah, fuck that. I don't see how that would be. How that would be feasible.
Now we got 2 laps, so we'll just summarize this. We can get back to the race, but. It's kind of a stupid device. It looks awful. It's not going to save people like Jules Bianchi, who hit the back of that recovery vehicle. Hitting the back of that recovery vehicle at 200 miles an hour. That piece of carbon fiber is just going to shatter, and you're going to hit it anyway.
Just because we haven't done a race since Bianchi did that, let's just take a moment here to.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, he's passed away since. We haven't covered that in the last one. I don't know how recently.
Our last race, and he hasn't had the accident yet. Oh,
Dave David. He did have the accident. We did mention it, but I wasn't sure how far along he was.
That was the thing. If it did, then it was probably just right after.
But he was brain dead. I think they just decided to unplug him because.
I wouldn't want to live like that anyway.
Yeah, no. And I don't know. Maybe the FIA is under some sort of pressure from the family. I think the family did was trying to press charges for, not press charges, but bring up some sort of lawsuit for safety on, at that race. Which,
they all did argue about actually doing a race.
They did. There was a lot of.
It was bad.
They would have not had the race. This is the 2014 Japanese Grand Prix. They would have not had the race except for the Japanese transport, like the subway, is too efficient that people could not reschedule their tickets to come at a later time. So if they had canceled and postponed the race, all of the ticket sales, all of the ticket holders would not have been able to make it to the track at that time. They would have had to come either later or earlier. So that's why they had the race, just to have the spectators actually have something to look at. But anyway, on to the final lap here of the Grand Prix.
I meant to say this not really relevant after that conversation, but I still have a poster of the Vodafone, McLaren, Mercedes on the wall here.
Oh yeah.
Back when McLaren was doing good. What was that?
Yeah, I still got when they had Vodafone sponsor. I got a Vodafone T-shirt and a hat from them when I was at the 2011 Grand Prix in Montreal.
They did good for a couple of years.
Yeah, they did, and then they lost their sponsors and now they're feces.
And now they're Honda McLaren, isn't they?
Yeah.
Still, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt.
So where are we at here now? Look at this. Half second in it. Dave's trying to make
purple sectors.
all his moves on this final lap of the race.
Look at this. Look at me go.
Through turn 9 down to turn 10.
Man, I must have been drunk as shit.
Well, see, this is Dave here, so he's going to make every attempt he can to weasel his way past me, whether or not be fair or not.
I must have been drunk as shit.
Yeah, probably.
I'm in the full bag here, man.
Full bag.
Hey,
trying to get his dick wet. Alright, and then through Puan.
Man, my heart was pounding so hard.
Oh, it does that.
This last lap,
it's even though we had gone into this with the mindset of just having a bit of fun because we hadn't played it in like a year and a half.
This is what it ended up being.
It turns into your heart wanting to come out of your throat because of shit like this.
Man,
right
I wouldn't shut up at the end of the race.
Through turn 16, through with Paul Freire.
Look at this.
410. Look at this. Dave going to Rich Mixture for this last stitch effort. Last couple corners through 17.
I might
2 corners
get a
left.
pull on him.
What do we got here? He's going to have to make a dive somewhere here. I dive down the outside.
Oh,
knowing that I can get the apex of the inside corner. Dave locking wheels, having run wide.
A little touch.
Outside in.
I had to let go.
And that's it. That's gonna be it. Wow, that was
man. Just looking at it again, though, man. Jesus.
0.8 of a second, something like that. Almost 0.9.
I just remember I would not shut the fuck up at the end of this race.
A little too aggressive maybe on the apex there, though. You have to block the outside because then you have the apex on the next corner, which gives you the upper hand. But obviously Dave having to run a little wide there because he was too close. And then this is how they all finished. So Maldonado being the first of the lap.
Maldonado.
So here's our points after 12 races. I'm almost 100 points clear, Dave, actually.
Almost.
So that's almost 4 races.
Vettel's up my crev there.
But we have 7 races left after this.
I didn't come in second.
So there are. Yeah, there was one where you came kind of farther down. I think it was in the Austrian Grand Prix as well. We got some weird DNF things going on because of the connection dropped, and then it was basically just your car rolling to the finish line. And these are the constructors' points.
Infiniti really has no chance there, really.
Well clear of Red Bull right now.
Oh man, look at Marussia.
Oh
man,
man,
stay clear of them, man.
Marussia and Caterham, watch out.
Caterham isn't even a team anymore.
Nope. Marussia isn't really either because they're called Manor now.
Nope.
New ownership. Anyway, that'll do that for this video. Thank you everybody for watching. Thanks for coming back to our F1 series.
Thank you guys.
And we will hopefully come back without having to wait another year and a half for the next one. So.
Thank you guys for listening to us jabber about.
See you next time.
See ya.
That was a fart.